Everyone, welcome to New York Society of Play's very first D&D live stream with all of our wonderful DMs. He's here. So, since it is the first live campaign we've done, I'd love for everyone to go around and introduce themselves. Let's start with Marielle. So, tell us who you are and what you're playing.
Who I am? I am Marielle, but tonight I am Agatha Bagatha, the cleric of Moradin.
Nice. All right, let's move on to our white-bearded friend down below.
Oh, yes, that would probably be me. My name is Taylor Weston. I live in Minnesota, and I love chess and D&D. I will be playing Ominari, the high elf wizard.
Very nice. All right, let's move on to this shifty-looking mustached man right over here.
Well, my name's Wit, and today I'm playing the very roguish Zane Marshfellow.
All right, and who is this fearsome gentleman?
My name's Ryan Jensen, but I am today Tunguska, the half-orc barbarian.
Very nice. All right, so we're going to start today in a very simple way. You guys are not trapped in a prison. You guys are not in a tavern. You guys have just finished a very light day of travel. Now, just to illustrate to everybody, I'm going to screen share really quick. These adventurers call the Sword Coast their home. The Sword Coast is one of the most popular D&D settings for those who don't know, but it has everything from the library town of Candlekeep to the bustling metropolis of Waterdeep. And those totally rhymed. Okay, but...
you could dance to that lore.
You could, yes. Now, you guys find yourselves on the high road. The high road is the safest and most paved of the roads. And this is the road that is most used for travel between the large cities. Now, each of you guys has been traveling and making your way, for some reason, to the town of Phandalin. Phandalin is a nice little town that was built on top of some ruins some 50 years ago. So it is a fairly new pioneer town, which means that there is trouble and fame to be encountered. So you guys have all camped by the side of the road. Have you been traveling together all day, or did you all just join the hearth at the side of the road, as is traveler's tradition?
I've definitely been traveling next to my great-grandnephew Zane. Much to his dismay, I believe, but no matter. By the way, have you checked all of your equipment lately?
Me?
Yes.
This
Okay, good.
for the
I just want to
100th
make sure it's in
time
good
I have.
repair.
Yes.
Okay.
It was in good repair 10 minutes ago when you asked me that.
Okay, well, you never know. Time is an elusive thing for a wizard of my age.
Very nice.
And you've had something to eat?
Yes, I've had something to eat. Gosh, can we just keep moving?
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay, so Bagatha, what brings you to this fireside? Why are you on the way to Phandalin?
Well, I imagine that as soon as I see other people camped around a fire, I roll up with my tankard just for the company. But I'm on the way for Phandalin for gold recognition and hopefully to study some smithing there, for I'm just looking to perfect my craft.
Nice. All right. And what about our barbarian friend? Why are you at the... what compelled you to stop by the fire, and why are you on your way to Phandalin?
There's a good dentist in Phandalin. I figured, why not?
Very
Get
nice.
these teeth fixed. They need to be pointier and sharper.
Very good. So, what are we eating? Food is very important to the adventurer's life. It's kind of important to everybody. We need it to survive. And everyone does it different.
Well, hopefully something hot. We've been eating jerky and bits of bread for the last few days during our travels, so
Yes,
hopefully
that's true. Yes, that's true. Yeah, bits of bread.
One of the principal uses of a fire is to make food hot.
Ah, yes. Indeed it is.
Oh, maybe we can warm up this bread and this jerky.
Ah, warm bread and jerky. Yes, that's exactly what I was looking for. Perfect. That's what we're having.
Do any of our other guests have anything to contribute to this robust banquet of hot bread and jerky?
Well, I like to bring the 5 food groups with me, which are ale,
Mhm.
beer, mead,
Cider, can't forget cider.
cider, can't forget cider, and water, I guess.
Mm.
If you gotta include, that's at the
You
very
got it.
use it
Mhm.
sparingly. All
I'm
right.
going to do a little incantation and wiggle my hand about and flavor our bread and jerky to make it a little more appetizing.
Mm.
Prestidigitation.
All right. And what about
I'm eating a
Tunguska?
stick.
You're eating a stick. Are you using it to
yes.
sharpen your teeth?
Very good for your teeth.
Would you like that
A
flavored
stick.
as well?
It's
Good
stick flavored.
good
It's a
sir?
stick. It's good. It's a stick.
What was it? You
Hey,
said you're gonna go see a
No
dentist?
judgments.
Yeah. The dentist.
Just curious. Just curious.
Great. So you guys see a fifth person coming down the road very hurriedly. They have a
Oh.
cloak drawn tight around their form. They seem to be a little bit smaller, perhaps a child or one of the more diminutive races. And they are in quite a hurry. You see the open head of their hood turn towards you for a second. You see the open head of their hood turn towards you for a second, as if contemplating sitting by the fire. But they shake their head and then they hurry down the road that you know leads to Fandolin.
Hello. Oh, goodbye.
And so he looks back at you and he's just like, hey there. Do you mind if I just like hang out with you guys by your fire for a bit until things cool? I mean, do you mind if I hang out with you guys by your fire for a bit?
Are you a dentist?
He says, what's a dentist?
And no.
No,
Great. And he
probably
says,
Yes.
and he says, well, I mean, I see that you guys are having dinner and your offerings look pretty meager. I have this pack of hot dogs. If you guys want
Oh.
it, we can share it. There are 8 of them, so we might have a little bit of trouble figuring out who get the last 3. But I mean, that's how they get you. You mind if I pop a squat there by your fire?
Normally I
don't
wouldn't
want
adverse,
none unless you've got buns, son.
He says,
but
"Well,
these hot dogs are enticing.
He says, "Well, I don't believe in buns. I'm a dog only kind of guy. If you have any bread over there, we could really make this happen, though."
Did we eat all
I've
of our
got-
bread? We have some bread.
I have some bread, but it's in ale form.
Ooh.
And
I'll
he
trade
says-
you some regular bread for some of that.
He says, "Oh, that's my favorite kind of bread."
Ew.
And he sits. He goes over and he takes a seat by the fire, and he unveils his hood, and you see a goblin with a couple scars on his forehead, and he looks a little battered. One of his protruding fangs is cracked very prominently, and he's just like, "The name's Flip," and he says, "But don't tell that to anybody who comes by."
What should we say if they come by?
He said, "You should say, oh, this is my friend Terry. Call me Terry."
Ah, yes, Terry.
Say it's our friend called None of Your Darn Business.
I
Keep
like
going.
that answer a lot better.
Very
All
well.
right. And you guys sit down to your meal of hot dogs and miscellaneous other goods. What are you guys doing? Are you eating in sullen silence?
I'm gonna lean over to Ominari and I'm gonna say, these people are I don't know about them. I think maybe we should take our leave soon.
I used to be just like you, so untrusting of everyone. But you could stay a while. We should be okay.
I lean over to Agatha and I said, I think they're talking about taking something of ours. They want to take our leaves. We can
I
walk up to them.
already my warhammer.
You ready?
Just done it.
Wait, you ready your warhammer? Like you just hold it in your hands while
Yeah,
you're
I'm
eating?
just holding it in my hand. It feels good. It feels good.
Flip's like, you all right there, buddy?
You know, I just
Me?
like
You
I
hear
just
someone
like to
coming?
hold it. I love metal. That's my whole thing. I love weaponry. It's the whole thing. Do you mind if I touch your weaponry? Oh, I'd love to touch some weapons right
I
now.
mean, I kind of mind, but like,
Yeah, I'm gonna politely decline as well.
All right. So
yourself.
you guys hear someone else coming down the road. This person is easily 8-9 feet tall.
Oh.
They are lumbering down the road, and let's see. Would somebody, I don't mind which one of you, like to roll an insight check as to the nature and I guess the bearing of this person?
Not it.
Yeah, I'll roll
I'll
that.
do that.
Oh. Let's see. All right. So
Only an 11.
An 11. All right. This person seems to be disturbed in some way. They have a club, a spiked great club in one of their hands that they are swinging sort of absent-mindedly as they go along. They appear to be lost in thought, but not lost in thought enough that they don't just kind of maliciously swipe down some of the thinner-looking trees on the side of the road with a single swipe of their great club, leaving them bent like toothpicks.
I don't have a good feeling about this one.
Great. So he is lumbering ever closer, and he stops a second as he sort of sees your fire as it sort of comes into view. Do any of you say anything to this person?
I still got my warhammer in my hands, and right now I'm pretty happy I got it. I'm not saying that out loud, but
Hello, sir. How may we help you?
And he says, "I'm looking for someone."
I'm right here.
Not you.
Dentist?
You weren't very specific. You're making me angry.
And he says, I was just in my cave minding my own business when somebody came by and stole my favorite knife.
Well, that
Oh.
person isn't here, so move along.
Oh, all right. All right. What role are you going to use to compel him to move along there?
Could I take deception to
You
try to tell him?
You absolutely may. As you guys look over, you can see this person, Flip, very furtively sitting on something that is roughly knife-shaped, but it's giant knife-shaped. So he's not doing a very good job of covering the whole thing. He was until very recently hiding it in his cloak. But as he went to sit down with you guys by the fire, he ended up just sitting on it and obscuring it partially from view. But he's trying to obscure it even more from view just by spreading out his cloak, drawing his hood farther over his head, and just munching extra hard on that hot dog.
I got a 10.
You got a 10. And he says, What's that? Hey, that smells familiar. Those are my hot dogs!
Whoa.
And Flip is like, all right, time for me to go. Nice meeting you guys. Bye. And he tries to stealth on away. Anybody gonna stop him or?
I'm going to cast Expeditious Retreat.
Ah.
Nice.
I'm gonna try to intimidate him and say, "Oh no, you don't! You started this, and now you're gonna finish it."
Roll an intimidation check.
I'm gonna help.
I get a -2.
Oh.
Wrong chat.
Wrong
Hold
chat. Let's see what this -2 in intimidation does for you.
on.
Oh,
I rolled a
no.
2.
Oh man.
I rolled a
Oh
crit.
no!
So
I
you're
critted.
just like, get back here and start what you finished. And he's like, sorry, no can do. But then what do you say, Tunguska?
You little person, I'm angry.
And he stops in his tracks when you start roaring. But also, it would appear that our hill giant friend, as he steps closer into the light, you recognize him as a hill giant of the Sword Mountains. He appears to be having second thoughts too. And he just says, hey, listen, I don't need to fight no orcs. I do that all the time up in the mountains. Tell you what, give me back that knife and what's left of the hot dogs, and I'll leave you all in peace. Also, bring me that darn goblin. I'm mad at him.
You know, friend, if you give me about an hour, I can make you an even better knife.
Roll persuasion
Ooh, awesome! With my -2.
with advantage.
Oh,
Oh,
Well, there's a
that's
zero
a
again.
0.
Oh,
That's a
17.
He says, better how?
Watch this. And I don't even tell him. I just start focusing on my channel divinity. I just carve some dwarven runes upon the dirt of the road, just sitting down straight. And I start channeling divinity, and over an hour, it will take the form of a weapon.
He's like, nothing's happening. I'd rather just take the goblin and my hot dogs and my knife and leave.
You can wait about 60 minutes if you like.
I can't count to 60!
Oh,
I feel your pain.
more
If
than
you have some
healthy.
time, I'd be more than happy to teach you the numbers.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh. Just give him the goblin. Let's just do that.
Great. So it would appear that, let's see, Flip's going to roll another stealth check. Yeah, no. At this point, Flip is very, very much intimidated. He's very much intimidated by Ryan's profession that he is angry at him, and he doesn't want to make this axe-wielding, toothy man any angrier than he already seems to be at neutral. So he's just like, listen, I don't even need the stupid knife. Fine, just give it back to him if we have to fight him otherwise. And Flip walks over, sort of almost as if surrendering the knife to the giant. And just as the giant reaches out, Flip is just like, psych! And he runs through his legs and runs into the woods. And the giant gets red in the face. And he's just like, my knife! And he starts swinging his club around. And the club hits the fire and causes embers to spray everywhere. What do you guys do?
I'm going to take cover and hide.
All right, roll a stealth check. Agatha Bagatha.
I'm ready for a fight. I'm immediately getting my warhammer and I'm getting in the way of everyone.
All right. Ominari, what about you?
Is my expeditious retreat still concentrating?
It is. No, you're good to go.
I am going to back way up.
Okay. Yeah, you get out of the way. Very nice. Now, you guys were just on the side of the road. Now, there are heavy woods to one side, and on the other side are the sort of dunes leading to the ocean, which you can hear nearby. This is a
That takes
coastal
me
road.
back.
I got a 24 in
This isn't
stealth,
taking
by the
you
way.
back. The expeditious retreat is taking you back.
That's true too.
Ah.
All right. So, which way do you go? Towards the forest or towards the sea?
I'm
How far back? A little back? Way back?
I'm dashing way back towards the sea.
All right. All right. And what about Tunguska?
Entranced by Agatha Bagatha's hair blowing in the breeze. I'm gonna hit the giant in the butt with my axe because it's time.
Well, you know what? You are on the side of him. You are in perfect range for a butt attack.
Mm.
Please
It's gonna be a rage-filled butt attack. I'm gonna
Ah.
rage for the first time today,
channeling that rage into the attack on the
Rage.
butt.
and I'm gonna frenzy too on that butt. All right.
All right, go for it. Make that roll.
What do I'm rolling my attack, which is +6 to hit with
Ah.
advantage.
Ooh.
Thunder brought, but we'll just thunder. I'm bringing it. +6. And I
Mhm.
roll 7, which was really bad.
Oh.
And a 16, which is much better.
Ah. Great. So you attack the giant in the side, just digging into him in the way that only a berserker can. You hit. Roll damage.
12 +6. Take that, butt. 18 points of damage.
Oh,
Robust
off to a robust start. All right.
Roll butt start.
Robot, yes. How silly of me. So the orc charges forward, digging his great axe into this hill giant's right buttock.
Hmm.
The
Good
left,
shot.
the right.
You're gonna have to give him another one on the left to match. He roars out in rage, ripping a nearby rock out of the ground and trying to bludgeon you with it.
Aha!
So he's going to roll d20 +8 with disadvantage because he is bleeding from the butt. 24. 25. There's no escaping this rock. He just swings the rock at you and clocks you with it. Let's see how much damage he does. 3d10.
Oh!
He deals you 22 damage. If you thought that your strike was robust, his was robustier. And as he hits you with the rock, you go flying back a solid 5 feet, bouncing once off of the ground and recovering again as only a barbarian can. Now, I'm going to say that Zane, you have been watching this for a couple seconds. How do you wish to act?
Okay, so I see our orc friend get tossed around by this rock. So while the giant's distracted, I'm going to sneak up behind it and try to jump onto its back.
All right. So you already rolled a very good stealth roll. So I'm just going to have you make an acrobatics check.
I'm very good at that. I've spent lots of time honing my acrobatic skills. That's a +8.
Okay.
24.
Very nice. So Zane emerges from the shadows where he was hiding, and very swiftly and silently, almost as if like as a ghost, leaps up and grabs on to this hill giant's back. Now you've made it up there, and he's like flailing, trying to shake you off. What do you do?
Well, I'm going to take my hands and cover his eyes.
Very nice. He's going to make all attacks with disadvantage. And I'm going to have his modifiers just because this is just ridiculous. There's having disadvantage and there's sure not being able to see.
Oh, yes.
All right. Agatha, you see that the young thief has just leapt up onto the back of this hill giant and is now covering his eyes. The hill giant is none too happy about that. Now, you had you were channeling divinity on the earth to bring forth a weapon. Are you still doing that, or have your plans changed?
Oh, not anymore. And I look at the thief and I say, that's pretty good for a thief right there. And Tunguska, how are you on hit points? Are you hurt?
Okay, my helmet got a little messed up. I'm good right now.
All right. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cast Cured Wounds at 2nd level. I'm gonna do that cleric thing.
Yeah, as he said that, you saw a little blood trickle from his mouth, so it might be a little bit more serious than
Yeah,
he's
I'm gonna
letting
do
on.
one Cure Wounds thing that I can do.
All right, roll it. So you channel your healing juju.
Mm-hmm.
And
13.
13. All right, Ryan, Tunguska, you heal for 13 damage. The cleric wiggles their fingers at you, and all of a sudden, you don't feel quite as terrible on the inside.
This is almost better than dental work. Huh.
All right, Ominari, you've been sort of getting your bearings on this encounter, on this engagement. What's the move?
I believe I'm going to cast a message cantrip over to Zane, and I'm just going to say, be very careful. I like your plan, but I don't know what I'd do if I lost you, my boy.
Can I respond to messages?
Yes, you can.
I can?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, if you don't want me to die, old wizard, come help me kill this thing.
Fair enough. And I'm gonna use my bonus action to dash over there with my expeditious retreat. And that's gonna end my turn.
All right. I'm actually going to say that you can, because you used a cantrip. I know this isn't in the rules, but I will allow you to use an additional cantrip should you wish.
In that case, I will break my concentration on my expeditious retreat and cast a true strike on myself.
Okay. Next turn, you will have advantage on your attack.
Very nice.
Okay.
Oh, and then I also, as a divination wizard, once a day get to roll a couple d20s. I didn't do that starting out. Is that cool if I roll those?
Yeah, you can roll those now.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. And just for our viewers at home, the divination wizard can roll a couple of d20s, and they can replace whatever rolls they make with the rolls that they made for the divination at any point during the day. It's quite fun. Anyway, let's see. We're going to go back to Tunguska. Tunguska, you've been healed. You are not as grievously injured as you once were. What are you going to do? This hill giant is still just going nuts. He found a fight and he's worked himself into a rage as well. You are enraged. Just a bunch of raging guys. What do you do?
Well, I'm gonna make 2 attacks, 3 attacks. I'm gonna make 1 attack regular. I get my second attack regular, and then I make my frenzy attack. So 3 attacks in a row. Bam, 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 bam.
Very nice. Make those 3 attacks in a row.
Okay, there we go. 1, 2,
Ooh, a
3.
3.
Oh, I forgot their advantage though too. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! 18, 20, 12.
Okay, 18, 20, and 12. Let's see. 2 of those hit. Roll your
I'm
damage
gonna
on 2 attacks.
25.
All right. So you get back in there after getting knocked away by the rock and just keep cleaving away. Are you still hitting this guy's butt? Something else?
Left cheek.
Giving him 1 to match.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very nice.
I'm all about parity and balance. It's
All
very
right.
good for the soul.
Ah, yes.
Performing feng shui on his butt. All right.
Dung shui.
All
My
right.
teeth are getting a little soggy right now. I might need to get new teeth in a little bit.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
awkward.
and the giant swings at you again with his club this time.
He has advantage because I'm doing my relentless attack.
Okay. D20 plus 8. 10. All right. So 13. He just barely misses you. But your teeth. Let's hear just a little bit more about these teeth. Are they strong? Do they have a problem?
There, this left one here, I got hit when I was a child. When I was playing stick and ball, I got hit with the rock and it chipped it, and I put it back on with some glue, and it's just never been quite the same since then.
Well, you
And
know,
I
you gotta
really
find.
don't want to live without it because it's kind of embarrassing only to have the one tusk. A lot of orcs will tell you it makes them feel tough, but it's not true. It's like being bald for humans. It's just very disappointing. I wouldn't know anything about that, but let's go. I don't want to talk about it anymore. You're making me sad.
All right. So the orc just barely misses your protruding front fangs by inches. And you have to just check to make sure they're still there. All right. Now, Zane, you're still on this guy's
Yes.
back. He seems to have forgotten about you momentarily.
Indeed.
What do you do?
Okay, well, now I believe I am going to take out my short sword and attempt to inflict some damage from above.
Very nice. Roll with
That
advantage.
sword is incredibly short.
Yes, I find them more stealthy,
Whatever
and
you
therefore
say,
optional.
man. Whatever you say.
Okay. 16.
All right. Yeah. You gouge your sword into him. Roll damage.
I will. That is 8 damage.
8 damage. All right. So you start stabbing him from up top.
Yep. Could I use
And-
my my cunning action to make a bonus action to jump off and hide again?
You can. Yes.
Do
Yeah,
you
I'm
have
gonna-
sneak attack damage on that too?
You do get yes. Yes, you
Oh.
do.
I do.
I would say in most circumstances no, because he knows that you're there and all that. But here, yes, absolutely.
In that case, that's 11 extra damage, so that's 19
All
total.
right, 19 damage. All right. Thanks for keeping me honest there, Barbarian.
That's what I do, man. That's what I
Great.
do.
So this guy's looking pretty worn down at this point. He's just like, I forgot about you. And he launches himself on the floor, meaning to crush you with between his back and the ground, not knowing that you've already faded into the background.
Mm.
You know,
that's right where
how's
I'm
that for a
standing. though.
background? All right. So he hurts himself, dealing himself a hearty 6 damage.
Ooh.
Great. So at this point, he is prone and slightly stunned. What does Agatha do?
I think I'm gonna attack him. So I'm gonna attack him with my warhammer.
All right. So you run up up close and personal.
Right in the butt.
Right,
For
just,
11?
you guys are just really not giving this guy's butt any mercy. Okay,
Mm-mm.
you rolled an 11.
Yeah. And
All
as
right.
a bonus action, I'm going to just touch Tunguska on the shoulder and I say, "We can't have you ruining those teeth now, can we?" And I cast Shield of Faith on you. So you get a +2 bonus for your AC.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, baby. I mean, yeah, roar, roar.
Go get him!
That's brisk, baby. All right. And then Ominari. This hill giant's looking tired, but you can also tell from afar that he seems to be slightly losing his will to fight and conviction in being able to win.
Oh, yes.
I intimidate him.
Yeah, I think you did.
Well, in that case, maybe I'll go up and try to be a voice of reason in his ear, literally. And then
Okay.
sit down right next to him, cross-legged. Lay out his options. Now, listen, we can keep punishing your butt, and we can and we have, and we will. Or you can just let this go. It's a very simple option, really.
And he's just like, but my magical knife, I need it back.
And what would you need your magical knife for? Perhaps we can help you.
He says, it's a family treasure. That goblin came to my lair to steal it, and he stole those hot dogs too. He's probably going to give it to some stinking noble for money.
Ah,
Well,
Yes,
if you
must
So
be-
mad.
that must be quite frustrating. But you must think of it like this way. Relics are just things. The memory doesn't die just because the relic was stolen.
But your butt can.
Your butt can die.
Your butt
Just,
can die.
just look at that orc over there.
He says, you're all pretty strong. You think if you caught that goblin, because that person that was on my back, I still haven't seen his face, but he must be pretty fast to get away before I can crush him between the
yeah.
back and the ground.
You're not
Maybe-
missing much.
Oh, believe me, he was holding back too.
All right. You guys can feel his smugness from inside the bush where he's hiding.
Oh yes,
But,
grinning from ear to ear for that one.
And he says, if you get it back and give it to me, I could give you some other treasure that's a little less important.
Sure.
I have like gold coins
Intriguing offer.
and goats.
Ooh.
I'm bringing daggers back. Dum, 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 dum. Something how you act. Dum, dum.
I'll
You
turn
got
to the others and say, Quest.
This?
Quest.
Giant, do you have metal?
He says, well, I live in the mountain. There's lots of metal there.
Oh, you got yourself a deal. Yeah, and I put my tiny little dwarf hand in his big giant hand.
All right. Very nice.
I'll give him
And,
the rest of my hot dog as well.
He's like,
I can give you your hot
thanks.
dog back in a few hours.
He's
Wow.
like, thanks. And he starts forlornly just like eating the rest of this hot dog. He's like,
There,
there's
there.
drool on this. My
Yeah.
butt hurts.
I'm sorry about that.
Right. And he's just like, I think I need to go back to the mountain and nurse my rear for a little while. But,
Yes.
and he says,
I've been there.
do any of you guys have a map?
Oh,
I got to show you guys where my house is on your map because otherwise you're going to get lost in the mountains and die.
I pull up my back of my hauberk or whatever I got wearing, and I say, "You can just draw it on my back. Here's a
This is-
stick with a chalk. You draw it here on my back.
If you say so.
You can just poke. If you poke it in, it'll make like a tattoo, and then it will be. Well, I'll have it, and we won't lose it.
He scribbles on
just
Tunguska's
tattoo
back,
him.
and it looks almost indecipherable, but you can see what looks like something resembling the area of the Sword Coast that you're on. He draws like a very raw, jagged, diagonal line across his back, and he sticks him at one very specific point on his back. He's like, "I'm right there."
Did you just draw a butt on my back?
it does kind of look like a butt.
It was kind of look like a butt.
Do
It
any
feels
of you
like it might have been a
guys?
bad idea.
And you know what? I feel a little bad for your butt. We really did mess up your butt. And I cast Cure Wounds on him
All right, great.
at first level
you
upon
mend
his booty.
you mend his skin, but the internal scarring remains for some time. All right,
Nice.
now
He heals 10 hit
physical
points.
and emotionally.
Yeah.
So let's see. Who here knows a good amount of their geography of this area?
I would.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Can
I've spent,
Can I
you-
roll a history check?
You can both roll a history check.
Ho-ho.
I've spent many hours in the private library studying maps of this region. Hopefully, I remember them.
All right, great. You see that this
Nope.
No,
this map. Oh no,
Oh,
Nope. Nope. Not at all.
neither of you.
we both
No.
have
Alright.
sixes.
So this looks like it might be a map of some kind. You might have to cross-reference Tunguska's back with a real map later.
yes,
But
perhaps.
this hill giant seems content at this point to go back to his home in the Sword Mountains, knowing that these adventurers are on the case to find his magical knife, which was stolen by Flip the Goblin.
Do you have a name, Giant?
He says, "My name is Bartholomew."
Bartholomew. Oh, very nice to meet you.
And he says,
We'll get it back. Mark
All
my
right.
words.
I really appreciate all that, like not killing me and everything, and kind of helping me get my knife back.
Oh,
So, you know.
likewise. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he says, and when you find that goblin, slug him one for me or something.
I'll leave that to Tunguska and maybe Agatha.
And he lumbers back off towards the Sword Mountains. Now, the fire has been reduced to glowing ash by the giant's initial club attack. What is the first point of action here, you guys? It is late at night. So late it is almost morning.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know much about tracking, but is the trail gonna go cold if we wait a few hours?
I think that's a Zane question.
Yes, I think that's well. I mean, it depends. It maybe I could take a look for some tracks now and see how deep they are, and see if we have
Okay.
time to waste.
Okay, great.
I pat your shoulder and I say, "You do right, boy.
I
You
seem
do
to-
right," and I
I
cast
seem to
guidance
remember-
on you.
I seem to remember this in a dream, actually. My portent of 19
Oh,
Ah.
is what you roll.
Yes. So you and your party encountering Flip sometime tomorrow.
Yes. Interesting. I think we'll be okay.
All right. Now, you guys take a bit of shut-eye then?
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Sounds
And
Okay.
and by the way, Agatha, please do not touch my cloak. It's cashmere.
What's that
Oh,
red
I'm
dot?
sorry there. Oh, I'm sorry there. Look at me, Mr. Rogue, and my cashmere. I pat my dirty furs.
I whisper to Agatha, "Yes, you not to touch his cloak. You didn't say anything to me. Wait till you see what happens in the morning."
The two of them appear to be laughing
I
over there
like
for some
this.
reason.
I like this, man.
Oh,
All
I
right.
do not
Zane,
like
Zane,
them,
You're the
Amanari.
best, Zane. You're the best, Zane. You're awesome. I think you're awesome. Your cloak is really cool.
Okay,
See,
thank
he
you,
likes
Orc.
a cloak. See, what's the worst thing that can happen traveling with strangers?
I don't trust these people. I think we should be careful. Keep an eye open when you sleep. You know, they scare me.
Well, you know me. I can't help but keep my eyes open when I sleep.
Yes, I know. It's very kind of unnerving.
It's unnerving.
Yes. I'm gonna find a like behind a big tree or something. Like I'm gonna sleep a little bit away from everybody else.
Okay, great. All right.
I snore like a motorboat.
Very
I
nice.
snore like a motorboat.
In
All
the
right.
middle of the night,
Mm.
Tunguska, when he was sure Zane's sleeping, puts a big sign on Zane's back of his cloak saying, "Kick me" on the back of it.
Roll
Oh.
stealth.
No, this is not going to work out well, but we'll give it a shot.
I'll give you advantage because he's sleeping.
I have a +1. I'm actually stealthier than I thought I might be. All right, +1. Boop. 12 or boop, 16.
Ooh.
Mhm. All right, great.
Uh-oh.
Let me see your intelligence. What is your int stat right now, Ryan?
My what?
Tunguska, your int stat, -1. All right, great. Yeah, you write "kick me" on the back, but some of the letters are backwards.
Of course.
Yeah, and the letters are all very uneven size.
It actually says Cackham.
Yes.
Yeah. Did he put it like directly onto my cloak or like on like a piece of paper onto my cloak?
Oh no, I wrote it with, what did I write it with, guys?
And
What did I-
lipstick.
Oh gosh.
Oh, my mother's lipstick.
Lipstick on your white Valentino
Purple
bag.
lipstick. Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
All right.
Oh no.
So you guys all wake up in the morning and you hear a scream from behind a large tree.
Mhm.
I'm running.
I walk out with perfect composure, and I just look at all of you,
Insane.
and I hold my cloak up, and fighting back a tear, I say, "Who did this horrible thing? God, tell me who did this!" And I'm shaking the cloak.
Wizard.
Well, was it
the
not like
wizard.
that? Because you didn't let me touch it before, and I wasn't sure.
Zane is just gonna like throw the cloak on the ground and put his head in his hands.
I'm gonna walk over and hold it up and prestidigitate cleanliness on it.
Very nice. Now at least it looks clean.
Clean it up. There you go. See, nothing can't be undone.
Fine,
Okay,
you're
great.
right. I let my emotions get the better of me. Put
Yes,
it back on.
I am like that too sometimes, or I used to be.
Okay.
It
So,
runs in our blood, my boy. It
Check
runs in our
out-
blood.
what's
Check
the next move,
Captain
guys?
Fun Stealer over there.
Ominari, where did your vision tell you the goblin was? Did it tell you?
You saw
I just-
him in a city, in an urban setting.
Yeah, we were somewhere in an urban setting, and you were tracking him down, and your cloak looked great.
Ah, well, thank you. I do appreciate that comment. Well, okay, well, what's the closest city then?
Let's
Okay.
check Tunguska's back. Perhaps we'll find answers there.
All right. So, guys, now here's the thing. What I want to know, right, is, I mean, right now, do you guys find it really necessary to like kill this perpetrator? Has he done anything, do you think, kill? I mean, all of you guys have stolen a magical item here and there, probably in your time, no?
Oh, absolutely.
It's a part of the
yes.
job.
Most
All right.
certainly.
We call it, for
Back in
legal
my-
purposes, we call it repossessing.
In my early 200s, all I did was steal.
And he can't stop talking about it.
I like to call it borrowing without intention to give back.
Permanent
yes.
borrowing. Nice. All right, great. So, how are we going to go about finding this brigand who very sassily stole this magical knife?
Maybe a hot dog trap.
Oh, that's a good one.
Is there any sort of trail left? Could I check?
A trail
yes.
of hot dogs!
You can
A
check.
trail of hot dogs!
Yes, look for hot dogs.
All right, okay, I'll keep an eye out for hot dogs. I'll tell
right.
you if I see any.
Roll a survival check with advantage.
Ah, very nice. Okay. So, a 5 on the first roll, not great, and 15.
Great. There's a trail that leads you all through the woods. You guys know that this is just the backwoods sort of route to Phandalin. Many people prefer to take the road, but it is possible to get there by traversing through the woods. Yes. So,
I've got an idea. Can I offer an idea? I think we should wait until we find Flip to figure out what we're gonna do with Flip. We should just table all discussion of what we're gonna do with Flip until we find Flip, because we have other things we should be discussing in the meanwhile. Deal?
Am I hinting a hint of sarcasm there?
no, sounds good.
That's my idea, and I think all of us should do it. What do you guys think?
Sounds fine
Yeah.
by me.
Sounds good.
Also, DM,
right.
can I do just a little bit of retcon? Because I have an ability where I can give at the end of a long rest, I can give a +1 to a weapon. And Zane, can I give a +1 to your dagger? Or your short
please.
sword?
Yes.
So now it has it's a +1 weapon until my
All right.
next long rest.
Ah,
Very good.
interesting.
the
You didn't
forge,
trust
man.
her.
I call
That's
dibs on that next
very
time.
interesting.
All right. So, Zane, do you lead everybody through the woods?
Yes, I do, as best I can.
How much of a nature guy are you, Zane?
I am not very much a nature guy. I thrive mostly in the city setting.
Okay. Have you not spent a lot of time in nature?
Not a lot, although I am good at tracking people through cities, so I'm
Okay.
applying as much of my skills as I can.
All right, so you're following this trail quite well, but I need you to make a nature check. Or if anybody else is willing to make a nature check in his place, that is perfectly fine as well.
I will certainly try.
Okay, go ahead, make a nature check.
9.
9. All right. So, you guys find yourselves, going through this heavy forest. There are a couple of man-made paths here and there, but your target, has ignored all of these and has been going from, thicket to bush, across the hardest rocks. This guy was running to not be found. You guys find that you follow the trail to a crag, sort of a crack in the ground that goes down an indistinguishable amount into the darkness. The crack is about 10 feet across. And Zane, you can see very clearly that his footprints continue on the other side of the crack. What do you guys do?
Well, we're gonna have to cross this somehow. Otherwise, we're gonna have to go around, but that may take some time. You may have
How
to
far
jump.
across is the crag?
How far across is the crag? Somebody is going to have to roll a nature check or a history check or one of those things in order to discern that.
I will do history.
Okay, great.
Good at history.
Because this crag stretches out of sight. It's a curved crag, so it stretches out of sight in both directions.
How far across is it again?
10 feet.
I jump.
No. I
You
don't know
jump.
anything.
All right.
I'll leap as
Tunguska.
well.
Yeah, Tunguska takes a couple big steps back and starts running towards the crag with the intention of jumping over it.
Oh
You
my.
can go ahead and make an athletics check.
+7, pretty good. Of course, I just said that now, and I'm going to regret saying that, but,
No advantage for you. All right.
19!
Great. You land on the other side.
Boom. Shakalaka.
All right. Now, Zane, are you going to make this jump as well?
Yes, and I get to add my. I can jump an extra number of feet equal to my dexterity modifier because I'm a thief.
All right. So that's what, 4?
Which is 5. I have 20
5.
dexterity. Indeed.
Oh.
Oh wow.
All right. You jump an extra 5 feet. So that will reduce your difficulty check.
Okay. And could I roll acrobatics for this or only athletics?
What's your athletics?
+0.
Sure.
All right, I'll take it. 23.
All right. Oh, do you do a fancy little flourish upon the other side?
Absolutely. I do like a flip over it. And then I land on my 2 feet and I just keep walking casually like nothing even happens.
This is what I do every day.
Yeah, exactly.
I slowly stick my foot out so he trips over it just at the end there. Not so he falls over, just so the flourish just kind of fails.
That 23 acrobatics is still in effect. He definitely hops over your foot.
Yeah, and I just give you a little look and I say, "Nice try."
All right. What about our other 2 less mobile members of the group? How are you guys getting across the crag?
Clerics
Nobody
first?
tosses a dwarf. And also, I'm
we're good
going
with
to, Aminari, I'm going to just clap you on the shoulder with my dirty, dirty hand, just like reaching up on my tippy toes. And I'll say, "You got this, you old wet piece of paper." And I cast guidance on you. So you get to add a D4 to a roll.
Great.
All right. And it's a strength check.
Yes.
All right.
Athletics
Well,
or
it's
strength?
an athletics.
Oh no. Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh no!
All right.
Can
So
I catch-
the
can I
second
catch her?
I'm
the
wearing
second-
plate too, I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
So
the
I'll roll a
second you
disadvantage
jump-
if I need to.
the second you jump, you realize this was a mistake. You are going to have to make a dexterity saving throw, Tunguska,
Oh.
in order to grab and save Agatha from the Kragatha.
Dexterity?
Yeah,
Dexterity
dexterity
saving
saving
throw, you
throw.
said?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, let's see how this goes. Oops.
Oh no.
What was
It was
that?
nice.
What was that? Oops.
6.
Oh, no. Oh,
Oh,
All
oh,
right.
That was a
Oh, no.
6 oops.
So here's the thing, Agatha, you're quite near the opposite edge of the crag. Is there anything that you could do to save yourself?
I could perhaps cast guidance upon myself, or perhaps I could try to use my warhammer upon the end and try to get a grip on the edge of the crag.
Oh yeah, stone is not as non-negotiable for you as it is for other people.
I've got one
this
thing
is
I
stone?
forgot.
It is a
I
stone
cast-
crag.
Oh, right. I cast meld into stone.
All right, great. So
Ah.
do you your hand hits the stone and it sort of takes on a stone-like form and you just start hanging there, very obviously unharmed. What
Can
do you
I
do
kind
now?
of make an oh no, I'm falling kind of thing, and then just meld into the stone so people think I'm
Yeah.
and then just prank and then just come out of the earth behind him and prank him a second later, like, gotcha.
Yes, Ominari is very amused by this very clever use of magic. But how
Yes,
is
that's
it
a good one.
Ominari across?
That's a new one for me too.
You scared me, dwarf. Goodness.
All right. Well, I guess it's time to show these youngins how it's done. I do my
I get ready.
calisthenics and
I'm
stretch.
like, Tunguska's like ready. He's got his like axe held out for him to catch. He's ready.
little like, okay.
I cast
All right.
guidance on you too. You can add a D4.
I feel so guided. I actually have a
Guided.
+3
You're
to my,
guided by the
my
light of Moradin,
athletics.
friend.
I'm a lot.
You're not
I'm
gonna
a
fall.
lot sprier than you might think. So D20 plus a D4 plus 3. 21.
Oh man. He runs like right towards the crag, and just before he takes off, you catch a glimpse of the Air Jordans beneath his robe, and this man just ascends.
I pumped him twice.
All right. And he very easily lands on the other side of the crag and just kind of dusts himself off and nods at Zane.
Wow. I've never seen you do that before.
Like
Yeah.
I said, we used to be more alike when I was younger.
Your great uncle has hops, dude.
Yes.
You should see me in a bare knuckle brawl, young one.
All right. So you're able to track Flip's tracks very handily the rest of the way. He appeared to be much less careful after he thought he lost you across the crag. And you find the forest opens to the town of Phandalin. A little bit about Phandalin. It's a mining town formed 50 years ago, built on the ruins of an old village that was raised by an enemy force some hundreds of years ago. Some enterprising miners found this place, and they started using this as a headquarters for their many mining operations in the area. So there are a couple places that are interesting here that you might want to visit. There is an inn of some repute, known as the Stonehill Inn. There are a couple of shrines, including a shrine to Moradin. There are a couple of manors of the families who struck it big in the initial mining rush. There are a couple of weapon shops and shops that are good for adventurers, and the Sleeping Giant, which is an inn which has quite a bad reputation. Is anybody here? Is anybody here down with the hoodlums?
Yes,
Down with the
actually,
brigands?
I don't speak about it very often, but I do have contacts in the underworld a little bit.
Do you not see my rakishly angled helmet?
All right, I want each of you, the two of you, to make a wisdom check.
Oh, boy.
And not so much.
Yeah, same.
That's here.
All right, great.
Let's see. Wisdom -1.
8 is great.
And 9.
Great. I'm going to copy paste a list of all of the notable places in Phandalin in our chat.
I do want to visit just a Temple of Moradin and just use my channel divinity to make a weapon offering for him.
And I'm going to also put this list in the live chat so that you guys can have a bit of say on where you think these guys should go. All right.
Ominari.
It's not a shrine to Timora, it's a shrine to Moradin. That's a bit of a oversight there. So,
Ominari, you told me you'd help me with the reading and the stuff. Can you quickly read
Yes.
a couple of the highlights of this for me, please?
Oh, sure. And would you like it in common or orcish? Okay, sure. The Stonehill Inn, the main inn and tavern within the town. And then there's a provision shop, Barthen's. That might be very, very interesting. A Shrine of Luck. There's a large rundown manor. There's all sorts of other things. The Sleeping Giant, I think maybe you might be familiar with.
All right.
Don't know.
I mean, no, I'm not either.
So, which of these places do you guys think would be the best place to start your search?
In
Well,
my opinion,
Omanari said that.
oh, I was going to
can
say, if I were a tiny little thing hiding somewhere, I was going to go into an abandoned manor.
Abandoned Manor.
Abandoned Manor might be a good.
I'm
place to
really
hide. feeling
feeling the apple orchard. The sounds. I'm just for some reason I'm just feeling
Hungry for
orchardy
apples?
right now. Yeah, I want to go Bob
Ooh.
for. Is there a guy named Bob in the apple orchard? I can go Bob for apples.
You guys can go find out. Do you guys want to go? Do you guys want to go with him to the apple orchard?
Looks like an orchard field trip.
Orchard.
Fine, if I must.
Go on apple picking.
Yes.
All right. So you guys head all the way across town to some of the farms. There are a few orchards here. The most famous of which is the Ettermeth Orchard, which is run by a halfling named Duran and her family. So you guys head on over to this orchard, and it's a beautiful, sunny place. The morning sun is dappling the leaves in a most attractive way, bringing out the reds of the apples and the green of the leaves. And you see Duran, and she's like, Chet, get your useless hide over here and start picking this fruit before it goes rotten. And then you see a small halfling boy in overalls. He's just like, sure thing, Ma. Didn't mean no harm. Just finishing the rest of my breakfast now. Don't you worry. I'm gonna pick these apples before the rest of the day's up. And then she's just like, and don't forget to get that guest out here working too. Tired of people trying to shirk out of paying for a room and for a bed. And he's just like, sure, I'll do that. But looked like he was trying to go somewhere first thing in the morning. And then Duran's like, what in tarnation? Chet, you go find that guest of ours or you're going to get what for? And he's just like, aw, shucks. What do you guys do after observing this? You guys are at the gates of the orchard. Chet sort of like goes off dejectedly. Duran seems very stressed out. She has several bushels full of apples sort of gathered in one place, with many still empty.
Duran reminds me of my dear old mom, especially when she's yelling. So I kind of sidle up and say, hey, you need some help with those apples?
And she's like, well, that's mighty sweet of you. And she says, that's much nicer than some other people I could stand to mention. And she says, yeah, I got all these apples over here that need picking, but look at me. I got these stubby little hands. I can only hold maybe 2-3 apples at a time. It's
Oh,
infuriating.
I can relate.
I start picking apples straight away.
All right. And like there are some that she needed a ladder to get to that you're just like picking off. And she's just like, this is astounding. All right. And what about the rest of you guys?
Tunguska, what in God's name are you doing? We're here looking for a goblin, and you're picking fruit?
Oh, there's
But
some
hey,
wisdom
man.
in his actions. Yes.
Yes, what he said. There's wisdom in apple picking.
There's just wisdom in everything, isn't there, wizard?
I'm going to cast Mage Hand and help Tunguska out.
I'm going
Get
to
those
find.
hard to reach ones.
I'm going to find the little halfling, the quarterling, the little child, and try to talk to him.
All right. And what about you, Zane?
Well, I'm going to go look for the goblin that we're all actually supposed to be looking for.
All right, great. So we're going to say, Agatha, you go after Chet, and he just has his hand shoved deep in his overalls, like, oh, geez, I done did it now. He's gone left before I could tell him to go to work.
Oh, hey there, friend. I'm sorry. I heard you were in a bit of a spot. What was going on over there?
And he says, well, my ma can be mighty unfair sometimes.
Mothers can be.
Some little goblin fella came to our house in the middle of the night, asking for a bed and a place to sleep. And my
Oh,
mom
some
said,
little goblin fellow! I shout back at the party, but oh, well, that's mighty kind of you for offering a bed. But he left in the morning, you said.
"Oh yeah, it looks like he just left first thing after breakfast."
And I'm sorry. Listen, how old are you exactly, little Quarterling?
Says, "Well, I'm not much." He's like, "I'm real young. I'm still a little boy. I ain't much more than 30 years old."
Oh, ain't much more than 30 years old.
Just a
Right,
baby.
right. I'll be back in 60 minutes, I
And
say.
he's like, "Oh, hey, what's that?" And he says, "Oh, look at that. The little goblin fellow left us some coin for the breakfast."
Oh, some coin. Is coin all he left?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, then okay. I said, oh, interesting. Let me go talk to my friends and possibly be back in 60 minutes.
He says, "You gonna find him for me?"
I sure am. And I'm gonna get you that gold, friend.
Oh no, the gold's right there. He left some coin.
Oh, well, I'm gonna go and find your friend for you and tell him a little bit about leaving without saying goodbye.
He says, "Well, I mighty appreciate that. And if you could maybe tell my mom to stop yelling at me so much, that'd be swell too."
Sure thing, bud.
All right. Now, Zane, where
Yes.
do you go in town to keep looking for Flip?
Yes. I meant I wanted to look around the farm for him, to see if he's hiding anywhere or anything like that.
All right, yeah. Roll a perception check with advantage.
Cool. I'm pretty good at that. High elves are naturally very perceptive. 15.
Very nice. All right, so you find more of Flip's tracks. You sort of notice them because you've been tracking them for like the last whole morning, and you find that he has gone to the Lion Shield Coster, the vendor of common armor and weaponry. The town guard are stocked up by the Lion Shield Coster, as you can tell by their very uniform plate mail and spears. He seems to be heading right for that place.
Okay, then I will. I'll send him. As a high elf, I get one wizard cantrip, and I took message. So I'll send a message to Amanari, and I'll say, I'm heading to the Lion Shield Coster. I believe our goblin friend to be there. Meet me there when you're done picking apples.
Oh yes, very well. I send back.
Great.
And I'm gonna cast haste on Tunguska so we can pick him very quickly.
Yeah, he's just like a red and green windmill.
And I'll cast a guidance on Tunguska so we can pick him even quicker.
Tunguska is an apple picking machine.
It's applesauce everywhere. Just like
They're-
shredded apples.
Oh yeah.
Just
You're making
insane.
cider with all.
Cider.
Garage
yeah.
just like, holy smoke, I ain't never seen anybody pick apples like that before. You want a job here, big man?
I like killing things more than picking apples, but otherwise, when I get later in my life, I might come and sit down.
All right, Agatha, you see Zane leaving the orchard and going down a dirt path with pointed intention.
Oh, well, I'm gonna follow him then. Hello, Zane friend.
Oh.
I hope
great.
you're not trying to be stealthy.
I like.
As you say that, all of the guards on the main street turn and look at you and then just go back to what they were doing.
Oh, sorry. I hope you weren't trying to be stealthy. But I think I know where our friend went.
If you're gonna talk to me, come over here and talk to me. Stop yelling. Gosh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was yelling. This is just how dwarves talk. But yeah, no, he was staying with the apple heflings, and he left in the morning. At least he was a kind of good guy who paid for his stay, though.
Well, I found his tracks, and he's come here.
And you find yourselves in front of a big, impressive white stone building. Very square, very impressively built. Big honking bricks that are about a meter at every dimension. And you see a blue and gold, very impressive looking lion emblem right above the door.
Ah, this place looks very nice. Maybe you should wait out here.
Oof.
Ouch.
This is a place this is where all of the metal gets made into weapons.
Oh,
Oh, well, okay.
oh, this is making. Oh, I love it.
All right,
Oh,
fine.
you'll love to
Just
see it.
just let me go in first. I don't want them to think we're together.
Oh.
Oh, what's
All
this?
right, you go in first,
Wanted
and
to
you
do this.
see that this is a two. This is kind of like a two-story establishment. There's a big first floor, and then there's kind of like a balcony that makes up the second floor. And the balcony on the second floor has all of the suits of armor on mannequins or dummies. And down here, there's just shelf upon shelf of common weaponry, every kind of common weaponry you can imagine: scimitars, spears, nunchucks, axes, anything that you could really want as a martially minded adventurer. There are some people in uniform, in blue and yellow tabards, milling about, talking to the customers who are mostly members of the town guard.
I'll take a perception check. I'm very focused on the mission. I'm not
Very
looking at
nice.
anything else. Yeah. 23.
All right. You spot a door out back, which says appraisal room, appointments only.
Okay. I'm going to message Agatha then, and I'll say there's something suspicious about that room. I think we should try to find a way back there.
I've been too busy looking at the weapons, and then I put, right, mission, yes. And I put back the 40 Warhammers that I was browsing, but
Nice. All right, great. And do you guys head over to that door?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, great. Moving back over to Tunguska and Ominari, you guys have finished your apple picking. And
got 'em all.
Duran is quite grateful. She's like, well, this went a lot faster than it usually does. That no good boy of mine never came back to help us out. And then he's like, Ma, I'm over here. Which is like, well, either way, I do like to pay good workers good pay. And she says, and she hands you each 50 gold.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Says, I
Holy
think nothing of
applesauce.
it. And she says, and yet, Tunguska, you can have all the apples you damaged. Too bad for me to sell.
It's about a third of them.
Yeah, consider them eaten.
Great. So, what do you guys do now that you have finished your apple picking?
I think we need to go meet Zane. He sent me a message during the Apple Frenzy that he has a lead on the goblin.
Sounds good to me.
Yes.
I'm just browsing around the shop, and I say, is there an owner in here?
Oh, and then one of the people is like, yes, you'd be looking for Madame Lionshield. She does a lot of the more sensitive appraisals. She's currently in the back seeing a customer.
Oh,
Apply.
tell her to my husband, and I grab at Zane really quick, wink, and I would like to go find something for a familial shield. See,
Yeah,
we're married, and
This
we're
is
oh,
our
sorry.
specialty. How did you know? Yes, this is very important. Right away, I will go grab the madam.
absolutely, thank you.
Great.
All right. And he says, and by the way, very brave of you both.
Thank you.
All right. And then he
I know,
toddles
thank you. It was really tough for me.
off. All right. Now, let's see. Ominari and Tunguska, you guys head on over to where do you guys go in town now?
Let's see. Where did Zane tell us to meet? First of all, I'm gonna mage armor myself. It's
Nice,
about that
nice.
time of day.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's go around and maybe ask a guard. Have you seen a suspicious-looking sneaky man or a very loud dwarf recently?
All of the guards on the main street point towards the lion shield costume, the same ones that looked at Agatha, the same ones that looked at Agatha when she was shouting, like just
Fantastic.
wordless, just like
Thank you.
she's over there with her boyfriend.
Ooh, really?
That's a development.
Yes.
I didn't know anything about that, but hey, if it's right, it's right. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
All right. So you guys head on over to the Lion Shield Coster, and you guys see Agatha with several. She's cradling several warhammers in her arms as though they
Oh,
are
yeah, yeah.
infants, and Zane's looking quite testy.
I walk
so-
over to Zane. I walk over to Zane and I say, put my hand on his shoulder and say, I hear congratulations are in order for you two. I couldn't
Oh no.
better pair. You guys are
Oh,
cute
no.
together.
Ah,
This
be
is
quiet
outstanding.
and please, you're getting applesauce on my cloak.
Nice. And what about you, Ominari?
I just go up to Zane and say, "So, any leads?"
Yes, I think that door back there looks suspicious. Although it seems impossible to get these people to do anything. All they want to do is get distracted by everything. But the mission is in mind. I think we have a good lead.
Very well.
Great.
I go open the door,
Great.
and I open the door. I look back and I said, "Oh wait, were we trying to be sneaky?"
And then you see Flip like, what do you mean I can only get 500 gold for it? And then he looks back and he's like, uh-oh. And then Madame Coster says, I will explain again. Yes, I know I sent you on a mission to get the knife. And yes, it is a family heirloom, but it is still just a kitchen knife, my dear Flip. And he says, yeah, but I saw the paper, I picked it up from the inn. I went to you. I followed all the rules like a good adventurer, and it said 1,000 gold, but you're only going to pay me 500. What the heck? What the heck? And then Flip looks back and he's like, "Hey guys, I know that we're buds, but we got to leave this for a second." And he's like, "I'm being treated really unfairly over here. You're just discriminating against me because I'm a goblin."
Oh, you scheming little sleazy little green little fellow. You
And then-
think that you can...
Yeah.
It's
I
okay.
thought you were saying something. It's okay.
No.
That's what she likes, schemy, sleazy little guys. That's how she rolls. I point to Zane.
What?
Perfect. She loves it. It's great.
I put a hand on Zane's shoulder. It's
How
okay.
dare you? What? Gosh, everyone's touching my cloak. Goodness.
He doesn't realize what I've written, conkum again on the back of his cloak.
It's just
Great.
scribblish, though.
Yeah, just scribbleish.
Great. So he's just like, no, what would you guys do if you guys completed a mission and they only gave you half of what you were promised?
Well, I would... Well, at least I would have kept my word and dignity as an adventurer. And I think that's what the most important part is. Not stealing, not sneaking around and doing things and picking pockets and stealing from people who don't belong to be stolen from.
Well, what did I even steal from you guys? I was stealing from that hill giant because he stole that knife from these people.
You stole our effort and our good time.
Yeah.
And you took away the hot dogs too, which is really...
Yeah, that was the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
there was
the-
only one left.
Time
Come
theft
on,
is a
guys.
very real thing.
Yeah.
Still.
And he says, all right. Tell you what. I know. I kind of took advantage of you guys. I didn't hurt you. Just let's keep that in mind.
It's fair.
I was just doing a job that I was given, and I was under a lot of pressure from, other forces, that being the 9-foot-tall monster that was trying to bludgeon me into the rocks. It's not easy being a goblin adventurer. And he's just like, and he says, I was supposed to get 1,000 gold because my buddy, my adventuring pal, he died up there. That hill giant ate him. And I think that I should still we were promised 1,000 gold, 500 for 2 adventurers, but I don't think that she should just be able to take back the 500 gold because my friend died on the mission.
Wait, so this knife originally belonged to this one here?
And then Madame Lionshield says, yes, it was appropriated from an ancestor of mine in a raid.
I see.
Does it complete a set or something? Why is it so valuable?
Well, yes, it does complete a kitchen set, and the kitchen set is quite good. But this was my great-grandmother's favorite knife. It appears in her recipe book. She mentions it incessantly. It's a family heirloom, and we would like to have it back. And now we do have it back, thanks to young Flip here. And he says, I ain't giving it to you till you give me what you promised.
I see what's going on here. Well, this is a bit of a pickle. You did promise it. Was it 500 to each of them, or was it 1,000 total, miss?
And she says, well, the wording on the poster was 5,000 per adventurer. 500 per adventurer, not 1,000.
Hand it
Well-
here, Flip. Maybe we could try to negotiate.
Yeah,
And he
because
says-
if we give it to her, we're 6 adventurers and we'll get 3,000.
Yes, Flip is with us actually now.
That's not how math works.
It's pretty
But it-
close.
That's-
Yes.
that was
We're going to
correct.
work on numbers after the
Oh, was it
reading.
critical?
Close.
Yeah. All right. Well, no, his counting was wrong, but his math was dead on.
Yeah.
I was told there was no math in this game.
Great at multiplication, can't count. All right. So he's like, hey, if you can get me what I'm owed, I'll say that I owe you guys one. He's like, I don't have any ill will against you guys. I'm just trying to make it as an adventurer.
Lady,
I
look, why don't you just give him? I mean, if it's so important to you, you're not willing to pay an extra 500 for it?
And then she says, well, if I pay him more than what it says here on the initiative, then all sorts of people are going to come in trying to squeeze every last bit of gold they can out of me. I must set a precedent to be as literal as possible when dealing with adventurers.
And I
If we want to
understand.
play the literal game, then we helped get that back, technically. And we are all owed. And then, Flip, you can have my portion. I don't need it.
He says, oh, well, that's like super nice of you. All right, and then roll a persuasion check, Ominari,
Sure.
with
Yeah.
advantage.
Persuasion. That's
I kind of feel like that's what I said, but somebody smarter just repackaged it
Yes, I just
on the internet
repackaged it.
and got lots of likes and hits for it. I'm
Oh
feeling
man,
a
feels
little taken
bad.
advantage of right
The
now.
YouTuber's dilemma.
Give me those likes. Give me those likes. 19. Give me those likes.
All right. So, Madam Lion Shield kind of starts to sweat because she knows that if she sort of backs down on her iron solid precedent, then her word is as good as garbage. And she just like narrows her eyes at you in sheer disgust. And she says, fine, take it and get out. And then she takes 500 gold bags from, she like snaps her fingers and they sort of materialize behind her. And then she just plunks them on the table.
I'm going to send a message as I'm leaving, just to her, that says, you can't play a player. When you live by the game, you die by the game.
Oh,
Oh,
Whoa,
and then the
whoa.
pixelated sunglasses come on, just like deal with it.
yeah. I give her half of my gold back. I say, listen, I understand you're just trying to run a business, and we pulled a little bit of a.
Tunguska claps his hand over her mouth, pulls the gold back,
Yeah.
and says, "She'll be leaving now."
And
She'll
says,
be
there's
leaving
nothing
now,
else. Thank
and
you,
we'll
thank you.
be bye.
Yes, thank you for your
bye,
time.
bye.
Great.
I'll give all 500 to Flip. It's fine.
All right.
I have
He's
no
like,
need
hey
for
man, I really appreciate that. And he's just like, this is really gonna go a long way in helping feed my village and everything.
I bonk him over the head with my fist and try to knock him out in one blow.
Roll a
Nice.
strength check.
Just pull on strength check is going to be a +4. Let's see how this goes. Oopsie, down here is where I got to roll. Well, all right, and 4.
Great.
Yeah,
You
be a
try and
critical
bonk him
fail.
on the head, but he grabs your fist, bites it as hard as he can, and he's like, ew, and he runs off with the money. He's like, I knew I couldn't trust you.
I lean over to Zane and say, I saw that coming.
Yes, I'm sure you did. I did as well.
Now, when you
Well-
say the money, do you mean all the money or just his own money?
Oh, so but he goes off with all of his own money. Basically,
Oh, that's much better. I
Tunguska
would
tried to
feel-
bonk him on the head, rolled a nat 1, Flip bites him, runs away as fast as he can. The guards don't stop him because he's not doing anything wrong, technically. And he is off to the races.
Well, we got $500, and honestly, that's probably more than that giant could give us.
Even better, my boy. We have all the apples we can eat thanks to Tunguska.
Oh,
They're just slightly damaged.
And even better, we came away with the benefit and gift of new friends.
I was going to say
Yay!
that the best gift after every adventure is friendship.
See,
And
everybody
do
keeps
the
stealing my
right
stuff.
thing.
I keep having these good ideas, and everybody keeps stealing my stuff.
The
Are you
best
gonna-
reward an adventurer can get is being lawful and good and kind and just and making friends.
You're a
Definitely
trendsetter,
repackaged.
Tunguska.
And I just keep
What?
monologuing like that for a while, and I'm sure nobody's paying attention.
All right, you go full Katara.
And kind, and absolutely, and
And
kind.
Tunguska covers her mouth yet again.
No more words. All right, great. So, Tunguska, you were going to go get those teeth mended, huh?
Oh, it's the pain is so great.
Oh
I feel
man.
like I'm a little
So,
concerned, but I
with
feel
that
like if I get rid
500
of the
gold,
pain, my rage will go away.
so with
but I
that
wouldn't do
500
anything.
gold, you could get your teeth metal capped if you so desire. Would you like to metal
What kind
cap
of
your
metal?
tusks?
What kind of metal do you think?
Up to you. This is a mining town. They've got options.
What do you? Can we poll the people in the group that are watching? What kind of metal should I use to
Oh
cap my
yeah,
teeth?
guys in the chat. What kind of metal
Mm.
should Tunguska cap his teeth with?
Or should I just do
Excellent.
just the one? Or should I
Ah.
do both of them too? That's a good part. I don't know.
Somebody
I'll
said one vote for gold.
Ooh.
Ah.
Yeah, that won't
Ah.
draw any attention. Sweet.
3 votes
Flashy.
for gold, 1 vote for apple.
Ah. Apple. Ah, yes.
Someone after my own heart. That's
Apple
about as
tooth
soft
roll.
as these things are right now.
Apple
They're
tooth.
pretty soggy.
Tunguska apple
All right,
tooth.
so that's 3 for gold. 4 for
You
gold.
know, Tunguska, if you don't want to pay the money, I happen to be proficient in Smith's tools, and I would be glad to cap your teeth for you.
I feel like maybe I should not trust that. You're okay. I'm gonna go with gold, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do both teeth in gold. I think.
All right, you head on over to the gnome dentist, and he's just like, "Oh, well, gold capped teeth. Sure, if you want." And he takes you to the back, and you hear the drills and the worrying and the screaming. And a little bit later, he comes back with a couple of cotton things in his mouth, like that, and some shiny new gold tusks.
Ah.
Use your imagination. Yay.
And it only costs 300 gold. But now Tunguska gets a nice new bite attack. You can bite.
Whoa.
Oh.
Sweet.
Hmm.
hmm
Gold as well, which is good.
Okay, so Agatha, there was talk of you wanting to go to this Temple of Moradin.
I did want to go to a Temple of Moradin, yes. I
Ah.
just wanted to, while I'm taking my hour and creating a weapon of choice, which will be a warhammer, I talk to Moradin, and it's going to be shaped like a giant's head at the end of it. And I say, Moradin, buddy, dear Dyer, are you there, Moradin? It's me, Agatha. And then I just tell him the recap of my entire adventure. Hope he'll listen and be like, and thanks for all the help. Bye. As soon as the Warhammer's done.
Great. And then he's just like, well, that was a bleeding earful now, wasn't it? All right.
Oh,
He says,
Oh.
remember, Agatha, brevity is a virtue.
I'll keep it in mind. You know, sometimes people have told me that before, that I should really stop using so many words. But I think there's so many beautiful things to tell people.
Your weapon, like, it feels cold in your hand. Moradin is no longer with you. All right. Ominari and you go over. Do you like talk to the other people in the temple? There are people at the temple. There are dwarves at the temple. Are you at all
Or, you're
interested
talking to
in-
Agatha?
Yeah, Agatha.
Oh, me. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to Aminari and Zane.
Sorry.
I guess, no, I'm just gonna keep going on my way. I, make my peace with Moradin, and, you know, I go back to my adventuring party.
All right. Now, Ominari and Zane, what's the plan for you guys? You guys are in Phandalin now.
Yes.
Why? Or like, I forgot about your.
Well, I've been practically exiled by my parents. They decided I was too much of a nuisance at this point, and so they told me to go find my purpose and leave. And it just happened to be around the same time that my great uncle showed up, and
Yes.
now my life is here.
Yes, I was tracking down my family, and they didn't want to have anything to do with me. And then I met young Zane here, and he didn't want to have anything to do with me, but he doesn't have a choice.
All right. So it looks like Zane, you kind of have the wheel right here. Are you guys going to
Yes.
stay with these very useful adventures?
Well, I think, great uncle, the first thing we should do is perhaps find somewhere to get some nice hot food because I'm very, very hungry.
I was going to say a cold drink, but yes, hot food sounds great too.
Maybe both.
There was that shady tavern.
That sounds great to me.
You guys, do
Yes.
you guys go to the Shady Tavern, the Sleeping Giant, or do you go
Yeah,
to like
let's-
the Squeaky
yeah,
Clean
let's
Tavern,
get a
the Stonehill Inn?
discount.
Yeah,
Let's get a discount.
definitely.
All right. So you guys all head to the Tav for a nice, relaxing drink and dinner. And you guys have sort of formed yourselves into a group through these very unusual circumstances. One day you may again meet Flip, but Flip has certainly survived this time.
Indeed.
Perhaps you may encounter him as a friend, perhaps not. But, you know, tomorrow's another day, and tomorrow is another adventure. So, good job, everybody, on our very first session of this staff game.
Stuff.
Oh,
The end credits is just Agatha talking about mining terms and just like, and you and I'm doing with this when I try to smith the metal, you have to heat it right. You have to heat it right to make sure. And she's just going on and on. With
And the
that.
credits roll over her talking.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tunguska pulling the credits down.
Yeah. And slowly, one by one, we all get up and walk away.
Yeah.
And Agatha's still explaining.
A little,
I
little
don't
stinger
realize.
at the end of the credits.
I
It's
have
like
a
3 o'clock in the
charisma
morning, and she's
7.
talking by herself.
She's
Yeah.
like talking by herself, and everyone's just like asleep at the table.
Yeah, I have a charisma of 7. I'm just excited.
All
My
right.
eyes are still open as I sleep and listen. So she probably thinks I'm still listening.
Exactly. And with that, a men team.
All right, guys. And the credits roll. All right. Great job, everyone. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We're going to be doing this same time next week. Who knows
yeah.
what adventures they may get into? If you would like to help influence those adventures, please send your suggestions to frontdesk@nyplays.org. I'm going to type that in the chat. So frontdesk@nyplays.org. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching us, and tune in next week. All right. And we are
Bye,
going
guys.
off the air.